this video we're going to have a look at Pythagoras' theorem, just two basic examples and how to apply it in different scenarios. Just to recall, Pythagoras' theorem states that c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. This c squared is the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is always the longest side in a right angle. The hypotenuse can be found directly across from the right angle. Okay, so in this example here, this side here that I've highlighted, this is the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse will be the biggest side, so I'm expecting my answer to be bigger than 8. Okay, so what we do first is we're thinking about, okay, we're wanting to work out the hypotenuse here, so we're going to be using this formula up here. C squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. Okay, because we're finding the hypotenuse, that's the biggest side, so when we're finding the biggest side, we are adding. Okay, so we're just going to substitute in our values here. So we're going to have x squared is equal to 8 squared plus 6 squared. This could come up in a calculator or non-calculator situation. 8 squared is 64, 6 squared is 36. So we're going to have x squared is equal to 100. If you had a calculator, you'd just go straight from line 1 to line 3. At this stage, x squared is 100, so to figure out x, we would need to square root that. So x is going to be 10 centimetres. And that's kind of what we're expecting here. Because this is the hypotenuse, we're expecting it to be the biggest length. So we're expecting it to be bigger than 8, which it is. Okay, so when we're finding the hypotenuse, we are using Pythagoras' theorem and we are adding. In this second example, let's have a look here. We've got a right angled triangle. Once again, it's always helpful just to identify the hypotenuse. So here we've got our hypotenuse. So that means that we've got the hypotenuse and we're wanting to figure out a smaller side. Okay, so when we want to figure out a smaller side, we're not going to add like is suggested here. We're going to rearrange and subtract. Okay, because we are expecting our answer to be less than 5. Okay, so we'll start off. So this time we're going to be x squared is going to be 5 squared subtract 2 squared. Okay, we're subtracting because we're not looking for the hypotenuse. When we're looking for a smaller side, we subtract. So x squared is going to be, that's going to be 25 take away 4, which is 21. So that's what x squared is. To work out x, we need to square root that. And the square root of 21, just do this in a calculator. And if we go to one decimal place, that is going to be 4.6 centimetres. And that is indeed less than 5. Remember, we were expecting the answer to be smaller than the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is always the biggest. Okay, so here we've had two examples. One where we've found the hypotenuse, one where we've found a smaller side. In today's work, you're just going to be looking at a few examples just to get this going, because we're going to be building up Pythagoras' theorem this week. Thank you very much.